So I'm excited today. I've lost track of how many meetings we've had so far, but it seems like we're getting on a roll. So this is the weekly meeting. Let me just adjust my display here. This is sort of an informal meeting. You'll catch on as we go along. So I'm going to adjust and self-correct as we go along. But this is our weekly meeting of the Boston Healthcare Technology User Group. And technically, it's actually a small piece of the meeting. We've decided to actually record a few minutes of the meeting that we think will be extremely useful for folks in the community. And so just quickly note, we've included links to our mailing list and also some interesting work we're doing on Discord around the healthcare community and the gaming community in gamification. Also, there's a slide, and we'll include the slides link with this video, the intro about our mission. In short, we're a membership community providing technology leadership and knowledge to improve healthcare delivery and efficiency. And so one of the primary ways we do that is through our weekly meetings. We try to keep it informal and 30 minutes. We have hard start and stops. Again, this session is only going to be about 5 minutes. We're going to record it. And the reason being is that we thought it would be really interesting to share these links that we've found while researching healthcare and skilling in healthcare and learning over the past week. And so with that said, I'll turn it over to you, Diana, if you want to introduce yourself and the topic, and then we can start to share the links in our open discussion. Our host, Diana, thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. Good morning, Paul, and good morning, everybody that is watching this video. So today we have a really good topic to talk about. It's something that you could really find very interesting because, in technology and actually in lots of fields, we always want to keep up to date and, know what is happening in the world and all the newest technologies, features, and all the updates that all the companies, that big tech companies has for the products that we use, in the industry. So now focused on the healthcare industry, there is a lot of resources that they're growing, they're being more available for every one of us. And so we found these links that we're showing on the screen, and we want to share and talk about, what they're offering, the different people involved in that is creating the content and other opportunities, for learning, but also, we can also be contributors. So why not to know this, all of these resources. So yeah, let's go walk through the first link. So I bet many of you know this website, Coursera, and they have a huge umbrella with different courses and different, topics for the technology industry, for programming, for science. You can really spend lots of time in the website.
Yeah.
And today we just focus on the healthcare part, and we found these really good courses that they have, and we want to share a little bit more about them.
Yes, especially this one.
Yeah.
And I should say that the only reason why I'm calling it out is I also, in preparing for our open discussion here, I only had went through maybe the first 20 or 30 links. So I'm sure there's lots of great content here, especially like niche content. But the reason why I called this one out up here is because I thought what's interesting about it is it's a great way to start, to get into healthcare information technology. Or, you could also think of you know, some might call this healthcare informatics, right? So if you're a student or a young person, or you're in a university, you know, you may actually be studying health science or healthcare informatics, and so you know, health information or healthcare technology would be a subset of this, right? And so what's really interesting is that this is a fundamentals class, Diana. That's why I thought to call this one out. And I think you were mentioning it. It actually starts today, or it's recorded, so you could do this class at any time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So yes, just from the basics, you know, if you are new in this, so it's good to start with a course with like this one. And yeah, I saw that they are starting just today. I mean, it is free, so why not? It's 100% online, so which means, you know, it's very flexible for you. You can take some time early in the morning, or you know, in the afternoon, or after work, or nighttime if you're a night owl. So that's really cool, because you can follow the agenda and all the you know, the important dates that they have for, and you can just do it, you know. There is information.
And also busy people too, you know, you're right, there's a lot of people that are working at home, and you know, in our community events, we end up talking to a lot of students and a lot of work from home folks. But, you know, there is also the other side where you just have folks that are really busy, and all of a sudden, you know, they're starting a new job in healthcare tech, or they've been tasked to do a project in healthcare tech. So I thought it was because, and the only reason why I say that is because I actually saw a couple of courses out there that looked really interesting. I was like, oh, maybe I can actually squeeze this in, you know, because it is recorded, right? And you can. So anyway, I know just in the interest of time and keeping this short, I'll try to keep my comments.
They have also, you know, the great speakers. You know, the people that actually work in this course. One of them is from Epic, and if you know Epic, you really know that you want to hear and you know, read this content and get trained.
This is a different one. So this is another one that was in the list, and again, we can share the links at the bottom of the video. But so this one is from the Open Learning Initiative, and I like this one because it also seemed like it was a good overall course, and it's also delivered through, it's an effort between Carnegie Mellon and HIMSS. So that's pretty interesting, you know, to have two huge players in the health tech space. So for those of you that may not know, HIMSS is, I think it's safe to say, the largest healthcare technology event or conference event in the industry. So I think on average, they get about 40,000 people a year. And so again, it looks like HIMSS has partnered with Carnegie Mellon here on this Open Learning Initiative and on healthcare technology. So I think good stuff. And are you ready? Did you want me to move on to the next one? Did you have anything you want to talk about that? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, let's go for the next one.
Yeah. Oh,
oops.
Yeah, that was from our last week's meeting. So now we'll go into let's look at, so this one was interesting. So this is one of the major, cloud providers. I guess I don't know if I would consider IBM a cloud provider. They certainly have blockchain.
I really like the path that they have in this website. You know, like they have a learning path, which is very interesting because it's also like, you know, from the basics, and you can go through each topic, and you know, like you guys are seeing in the screen, like it's just very like first, second, third, step by step.
I like this one a lot. I'm glad that you uncovered this. I learned a lot just looking at this. What I really like about it too is that they cover their vaccine passport, and from, you know, being a huge fan of blockchain, that's a particular interest to me. And so that's interesting that it's covering some of the newer topics like AI and blockchain as well. It's a great find. And then of course our Microsoft family. We have we part of the reason we're having this discussion is we've actually been spending for various reasons spending some time diving into the Microsoft Learn product. And yeah, so this was interesting. We've been learning a lot about this, but it's worth noting that on the Learn site, so the Microsoft Learn site is, correct me if I'm wrong, Diana, but essentially it has the learning content for the various platforms at Microsoft. And since healthcare falls under Dynamics, obviously that one of their, I would almost think of it as their business cloud. You might think of it as the Power Platform, piece of the Microsoft cloud. But a lot of their healthcare effort is built on top of Dynamics. And so it would make sense that they would have learning paths up here to cover that content. So did I state that correctly? Does that make sense? Am I getting there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, actually, I would like to add Microsoft Learn. It's a really cool platform because it's like all the academic content, and you can find like all kind of content for the different products that Microsoft has, and it has just different levels, and you can get more like a point system, and like you can also become recognized by the community for your contributions, like in different like the forums and different discussions with the technical community. Sometimes they have like different challenges and initiatives that you can participate. This content is free. That's a good thing to say, because I know Coursera and another platforms, you can find free content, but for some of them you have to pay.
Yeah.
So actually with the Microsoft Learn platform, all the content is free. And you can
specific to Microsoft. It's worth calling that out as well. Like it is free content, but only specific to to Microsoft. Like it would be interesting after seeing those others. It is an open discussion. But it would be neat if they added here like a section on sort of an intro to healthcare technology. Maybe that's something we can, even discuss with the community, right? The healthcare community at Microsoft. But it seems to me like that seems to work well on the other sites, right? I really like that idea. The very first one by John Hopkins, right? The fundamentals, and then we saw it on the IBM site as well. I noticed that there were some ones that were specific to generic healthcare technology. And then there were some niche ones, like clinical stuff as well. So, yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
And it is free. I don't mean, you're right. I mean, there's tons of great content up here. We talk about all the day long because of the stuff that we do with Microsoft. Our conversation today is in the context of healthcare and healthcare technology. And so I'm just going to show people, because they might not have caught on the link that you sent me already had the link, the healthcare search term in it. So we're just going up to the Learn site, and as Diana's showing and talking to you about, we can filter on healthcare, and then this is all free content that's available.
Yeah, and they already have this content for healthcare, and you can introduce in the Microsoft Cloud for healthcare.
Yeah,
and it's very practical. It's very easy to read and understand. They have some labs and very good sources of information that you can go through and learn, and get into the content.
So you asked me to find a link on the EPIC certification.
Oh
So
yeah.
folks might not know, Epic is, I think they're the largest independent, electronic medical provider. They would probably call themselves much bigger than that. Health technology company might be a better word description, but they do have a certification track as well. IBM has a certification track. Microsoft has a certification track. Google has very little on training. I was surprised, Diana, in preparing for this. I didn't see anything really that was available for them, and specific content related to healthcare, which surprised me. We saw IBM had great stuff. Microsoft had great stuff. So that, I would put them as the major players, right? But then you have Epic, right, which is a huge company, and they have their certification track. I ran out of time, so I couldn't find the actual links for the certification stuff, but maybe we can post that, with the video. And then finally, there's this open talk event. And, I think, oh, there it is. Good. It did open correctly. And yeah, so this is a surprise link, Diane. I found this after I reviewed our links earlier with you, and I found one last one on a conference that's happening very soon, June 15th and 16th, and there's stuff on demand as well. But this is interesting. It's called Open Talk, and they've got some really great speakers. They're going to be talking about everything from payments to employee collaboration, innovation, a lot of different financial services stuff, but more than that, talking about customer experiences in healthcare. And then we go into stuff like AI, innovators, social impact. So I thought this was interesting, and we would just share it, even though technically, it's an event. I don't know if it's, if we would call it training, but it's happening literally next week, and we were, getting this content together anyway.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so thank you for the idea for the topic, and thank you for hosting the meeting today. Again, this is just a subset of our weekly Boston Healthcare User Group meeting. And with that, I'm done. Did you have any last stuff you want to add before we close the recording?
No, really. I mean, okay, maybe one thing. I was also looking for resources in Spanish.
Okay, yeah.
And to be honest, there is an opportunity because I didn't find. I was if somebody knows Platzi, it's a platform for learning, about technology, and very similar to Coursera. It's very successful in Latin America. The CEOs are from Colombia, actually.
Interesting.
And they have all the content in Spanish, but I was looking for the healthcare part, and I didn't find. So if someone from Platzi heard this conversation, please.
Yeah, we're very good at being loud and vocal. Maybe we can find a way to prod somebody. And I love that. Thank you so much for remembering to bring up, the Spanish content. One of the things I wanted to make sure we talked about, and we can follow up maybe even in our next meeting, is to make sure that all of our posts are, to begin with, at a minimum in English and Espanol as well. And so, so that's really great stuff. Thank you for that. And thank you again for hosting. So cheers. Yeah,
no worries. You're welcome. And next week, don't miss it. We'll be here with another interesting topic.
Thank you.
Okay. See you.
Perfect. That was cool. I think it's okay, even with Christopher in the background. I think that will be a great